Ramyeon, haenyeo, ajumma. These words are among the Korean words that have been added to the Oxford English Dictionary this year. Everyday terms that once felt local to Koreans are now officially recognized as common enough to be used in English language. Today, we'll explore how these Korean words found their way into the dictionary and what cultural forces have shaped that journey. We're going to do that with David Kim, content creator and adjunct professor at Daegu Cyber University. Hello, David. Welcome back.
Hello, glad to be here.
So, David, it's becoming a regular thing to add Korean words into the Oxford English Dictionary. So, which words were included this time? And also, do you see any differences like compared to recent years this year?
Yes, so there were in total 8 words added to the Oxford English Dictionary this year. And to list them, Ramyeon, haenyeo, 선배, 빙수, 찜질방, ajumma, Korean barbecue, and officetel. So as you can notice, there was an evolution of interest throughout the years. From 2021 to 2024, it was mostly focused on K-pop, K-content, such as words like Hallyu or mukbang. And in 2025, it was focused on viral snacks, dalgona and tteokbokki. But you can see now in 2026, the focus has shifted to more like lifestyle and society. So you can see that the world isn't seeing Korea as just K-pop land or K-content world anymore. They're really actually digging into our culture, focusing on words like 선배 or ajumma that show interest in our relationships, and also officetel and 찜질방s, which are very recognizable Korean spaces to us. And haenyeo especially, it represents a unique cultural heritage. So definitely the depth is getting deeper.
So very diverse, but it looks like many words still are closely linked to Hallyu, another word that's actually in the dictionary, as you mentioned, David. So words like dalgona and hyung, for instance, became popular through Squid Game. And I even hear that some young Koreans first learned about the word dalgona by watching Squid Game. So did you ever had a similar experience before?
Yes, so I'm actually pretty old. So I was born in the early 90s. And
That's not old, David.
Yes, but I grew up with the word dalgona. It was in front of my elementary school. We actually used the word 뽑기 back then. But yes, I was very familiar with that when I was watching Squid Game. But ironically, actually, even as a Korean, when I was watching Squid Game, I did not know what Squid Game itself was, the game itself. I've never played it before. So it was very ironic in a sense where I had to tap into global IPs and culture like content like Squid Game to know what was like childhood games, watching it myself. So yeah, I guess like media has the power to actually take something very local and make it very global and even make the locals learn from it again.
Right, Squid Game, that was also new for me. And I guess our a little older Walter has a question for you now.
Yes. I feel much older now that you've said that. So how do you view this trend of Korean words spreading globally through K-dramas?
Well, first of all, as a Korean, I'm very proud. It's just great to see foreigners picking up Korean terms and using it in like daily language. And I see K-dramas being like the best teachers. I think they are very great instructors in terms of they provide context and emotional connection and immersion. So for instance, if there's the word like brother or senior that's in the subtitles, you can't really get the nuance of like oppa or 선배 over there. There's like a romantic sense to it, and there's like a little bit of a hierarchy to 선배, right? So in those kind of K-drama contexts with the visuals, with the vibes, you can really learn how to use words like oppa or 선배. And I think like K-dramas more and more are serving as like a cultural bridge towards the world, and it's just doing an amazing job. Yeah.
All right, now let's get into a little bit more detail. I especially want to talk about this word, ramyeon. Ramyeon, not ramen. Instead of being grouped with the Japanese term ramen, ramyeon is now being recognized as a distinct food in the Oxford English Dictionary. So now, how would you explain the difference to a foreign audience who now might be a little confused about this?
Yes, one of my favorite foods. So I personally think this is a great win, a huge win actually. So in the old days, ramyeon, our Korean ramen, was seen as like an instant, spicy knockoff version of Japanese ramen. But nowadays, the status has elevated. The K-exports of ramen has gone through the roof, actually. And there are very technical differences technical differences between Japanese ramen and K-ramen. So Japanese ramen is like you imagine like a little stall or like a Japanese restaurant. You go in, there's like a chef with fresh noodles with bone broth. But in the contrary, for K-ramen, you can go to convenience stores at your house. It's done instantly within 3 minutes. There's spicy noodle powder, and the noodles are very very cute looking, I would say. And also it represents our 빨리빨리 culture as well. Like Korea is very well known for that. So foreigners are having fun exploring all kinds of ramen nowadays, from buldak to jjajangmyeon to cheese ramen. So they're really just enjoying this whole diversity in K-ramen.
Right. And to terms of address like hyung, meaning like older brother to a male, and also we talked about it 선배 as well, like a senior worker within a company, which we often hear in these Korean dramas now. They have also made the list, as we talked about before. Have you encountered any funny, let's say, moments or memorable misunderstandings of these terms among non-Koreans or other words like this?
Yes, definitely. So as everybody knows, English is flat. There's not like a social hierarchy there. So, I could say that Korean is slightly vertical. We do have a hierarchy in our language. And for words like hyung or 선배, 오빠, ajumma, these words, they are often like confronted with gender confusion. So that's the biggest mistake I see. I see some female fans calling their favorite male actors or their idols like hyung. And like to a Korean, that's funny, but like to them, they might have just searched it up on Google and it says like hyung is like the older version of like a male. Yeah. So yeah, I get that. It's a cute mistake, but like, as Korean culture is spreading, people are correcting themselves from hyung to oppa and whatnot. And also I've seen a lot of misusages of the word oppa as well too. So, normally there is like a social consensus that oppa is until like, I would say my personal standard is like up to like 40 or, but like if there's like a 60-year-old guy and a young girl goes up to him and says, oppa, that would, react in a very interesting way. I think it would be cute nevertheless. Also, there are terms like ajumma and ajoshi you have to be careful about. So I've seen a lot of foreigners going up to pretty young people and saying like, oh, because this is a stranger I don't know, he seems a little older than me or she, like, oh, ajumma, ajoshi. Then that could actually trigger an offensive response to that person. So these are very cute mishaps and cute mistakes, but now I see that it's correcting and people are learning about the Korean culture and respect factor there.
Yeah. So people like us, please don't refer to us as ajoshi and ajumma to our global audience.
I remember the first time I was called ajoshi and it broke my heart.
It hurts.
So let's talk about officetel or officetel in English is another interesting addition to the Oxford Dictionary. It's uniquely Korean compound term, yet it was registered as is. Tell us about more of this housing concept and why do you think it has made the entry into the Oxford Dictionary?
Yeah, so this is a very interesting word. It's a mix of office and hotel, and historically it was first introduced in the 1980s. Because of Seoul or Korea's high urban density problem, we had to make places where we can work and live at the same time on top of our apartment structures. So it's about the lifestyle. Technically, it's like a business space, but also you can live there. Although I know that the laws are a little bit strict about that. But still, it's very convenient. Usually you have like restaurants, gyms, or convenience stores on the first floor because it is an office district. And also, like there are certain images that come with the officetel as well. One image would be you could be the successful single person, like you're earning a lot of money, you've become independent, you're living by yourself, decorating your nice officetel. On the other hand, you can also be seen as someone who's left behind that hasn't been married yet. You can only afford this officetel. So it has like this duality in the image itself. So yeah, I think the Oxford English Dictionary has been seeing this officetel in a lot of K-dramas and people living in them in their lifestyles. So yeah, as I mentioned before, Korean culture is getting more deeper to the global audience. So that's why I think they designated that term. Yeah.
Very interesting. So David, then when a Korean word is added to the Oxford English Dictionary, is that a sign that these terms are not a passing trend anymore, but they are being used in daily life by English-speaking speakers?
Yes, for sure. So when I hear like people reacting to, oh, this word was registered on the Oxford English Dictionary, not a lot of people think it's a big deal, but I actually think it's a big deal because it acts as a historical archive. So the Oxford English Dictionary is a permanent record, and it noticing a word and including it to the English language itself is just elevating the status of Korean language itself. And also it acts as a soft power milestone. So we can know that Korean concepts are so unique and powerful nowadays that English speakers have to adopt that term because they can't describe it in their own language. So that's something to be very proud about. And also, back in the days, a lot of Korean terms were just trendy words used by K-pop audiences and whatnot. But nowadays, the general public started to adopt it. So it just shows you the sheer impact of Korean culture and language. Yeah.
And finally, in your view, what do Korean words that foreigners find untranslatable tend to have in common? And also, would there be any word that you would love to have been added to the Oxford English Dictionary? Your pick.
Yes. So I think the most untranslatable words would be the communal emotions of Korea, focusing on us, not personal, like individual emotions. So the most representative words would be han and chong. These are like historical, contextual words that only Koreans can share with each other. It's about like sorrowness, sadness, and like the colonial era and all that kind of stuff. But since you asked for me to pick one word, I think most definitely the word I would pick for the next register is the word arirang, because obviously we're on Arirang TV right now. It deserves some credit, but also recently BTS's upcoming comeback was named Arirang. So already millions and millions of people all around the globe are searching for the meaning of arirang, and they're getting Google researches like it's an emotion, it's a Korean identity, it's a combination of sorrow, happiness.
And a folk song.
Yeah, folk song, longing, all of that combined. So it's a culmination of Korean culture and emotion. So I think it mostly deserves its spot on the Oxford English Dictionary.
Wonderful. And I hope those involved in that process are listening right now and watching right now. Well, thank you very much, David, for your insights today, and hope to see you soon.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you, Walter, as always. We're going to see you on Wednesday.
See you on Wednesday.